So now I'd like to open the floor for your questions. Please make your way to the microphone at the back of the room and introduce yourself and the media outlet you are working for. First question, please.
Yeah, John Marshall with the AP. Logan, what do you think this sport has shown the world in its Olympic debut?
Can you say that again?
What do you think this sport has shown? What do you think this sport has shown to the world in its Olympic debut?
I think, I'm definitely stoked to be here representing freestyle BMX. I think we showed the world, how much camaraderie we have within this sport. We're all mates off the field or off the course, and when we're on the course, we're there to do battle. But I think that's what we displayed out there today. We're all mates off the course, and on the course we were, there for a job.
Any more questions?
Hi, it's Chad from the Olympic Information Service. Daniel, I heard a story that once the World Cup kind of shut down, you welcomed a bunch of other riders to your personal park back home to keep working. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so when the world ended last year, I did have a bunch of actual Olympians that are here today living in North Carolina. And it was a bit crazy, but it's my property, I can go. So what we did was like, okay guys, we don't know what this pandemic is, we don't know what the virus is. Let's just make sure we don't have any contact with anyone and create our own bubble. Before bubbles were a thing, we kind of did it, and we had that understanding because at that point the Olympics were not postponed, so we had to keep riding. We knew that was #1 priority, so we rode as much as we can, or as much as we could. Once the games were postponed, also USA kind of changed we were not in like a severe quarantine anymore, so it stopped a lot. But yeah, at first it was kind of crazy, man, because we'll go to the park and I didn't know if we were breaking the law or not. It was like, okay, everyone just park in different spots. So we were able to like keep riding. If the police come, we'll just tell them that, I don't know, we're kind of fixing a few things in the park,
Thank you.
I'm Sam Price from Touchline. Another question for Daniel. You're the oldest guy competing. You've done so much for the sport, but how special has it been to come to an Olympic Games with all these other athletes from different sports and represent Venezuela?
It's certainly been an amazing journey because I never thought I would be able to come to the Olympics in my professional career. When the conversation started a few years ago, I knew in 2017 they were going to kind of give us the green light, but I thought it was going to be for Paris. And at that point, I was like, I don't think I got this in me. I'll probably retire in 19 or 20. And then they say that we were coming to Tokyo. I ended up winning the World Cup or the World Tour that year. And I was like, dude, I got gasoline in the tank. Let's make it happen. Let's try to make it to Tokyo. So the qualification was definitely tough. And yes, being a bit older, it has its advantages, but also its disadvantages. These guys recover quick. These guys are quicker on the bike. So I had to put in quite a bit more time on it, and kind of line my ducks. The qualification was very difficult. I think it benefited the bigger countries. So for Venezuela, for me to make it in the ranking was extremely difficult. But I enjoy the process. I enjoy putting in hard work. I think these guys motivate me a lot, just because they kind of took the sport where my generation left off, and they just kept pushing, and they kept pushing hard. And today, most of the tricks that I saw today is it's incredible how they're able to do all this stuff. I never in my life thought they would be able to do this. Logan today doing the Spider-Man bike throw thing, that's insane. I never thought that was even possible, The way Declan just rides the course around with the big tricks and the big lines. Hira is very unique. So it's been good to see that this new generation took over and has done very well for the sport as well.
Hey guys, Eric Bagshaw from the Sydney Morning Herald and The Age. First of all, probably to all of you, BMX, skateboarding, these are kind of cool sports, right? You guys are probably some of the coolest looking Olympians we've had here. The Olympics can be a little bit daggy, you know? There are parts of it that it's a huge operation, it's not like an X Games, it's not as improvised. How does BMX work with its image, combining that with something like the Olympics? And second to you, Logan, with the gold medal that you just won, you've just secured Australia's best ever Olympic day with 4 gold medals. What does that feel like?
So I think it's a really good move that the Olympics has introduced these new sports, freestyle BMX, skateboarding, and surfing. I think it gives the Olympics a freshen up. It introduces some cool sports, some more core sports, which is super cool, and I'm super grateful to be representing freestyle BMX. To take home the gold medal is obviously, a massive achievement, and you telling me that we just set a record for the most golds in one day. I mean, that's amazing to be a part of it. I'm definitely stoked to be here, and obviously I'm excited. I'm grateful for how the day went.
Sure. Yeah, Daniel, you guys want to talk about marrying BMX with
Sorry, what was the first question?
It was about how does BMX manage its image coming into the Olympics, which is a much more mainstream and probably has been seen as a less cool, event than something like BMX or the X Games.
Yeah, the event is definitely different. This is a lot bigger than the X Games. But, we did start there, and the X Games have been a big part of our sport. Dave Mira, Nyquist, all the guys, those are the guys that kind of got us here, in the mainstream. So definitely a good shout out to them. I think it was definitely good for the Olympics to freshen up, just how Logan said, because we do bring something different to the table. And I think it's also good timing. Surfing's probably been more professional for longer. Skate and BMX, I think it took a little bit longer to be as professional. Someone asked me the other day about how does it compare to a few years ago. I was like, dude, we would go out every single night until 6 a.m. and then everybody would try to compete next day, and then that's it. You send it. That was the lifestyle. And then the new generation came, and it got a little bit more serious. And these guys learned that you gotta keep your body up to date, to be able to compete at this level. And it kind of made me be a bit more, thoughtful of all of that. I stopped going out crazy. I stopped doing all of that because I wanted to keep on with these guys, and it was difficult when I was going out. And Logan has a nice 10-hour sleep, like a baby. So yeah, I think it's good for us to be able to be in the Olympics because now people see that we are a real sport, and I think this will open a lot of doors. More parks, more people get more eyeballs on our sport. I think it's good for the Olympics. It gives them a younger generation, a different crowd, a different. We do what we want to do. We're still a bit rebel, and I think the Olympics needed a little bit of that as well.
Sorry, Logan, just quickly again, on that 4 gold medal stat, does that make you feel like a part of history, Australia's best ever day at the Olympics?
I mean, coming into the debut for freestyle BMX, that is history. To win the first ever gold medal for freestyle BMX, that is history. And to be a part of the 4 gold medals that we've won today, it's a huge honor. As I said, I'm grateful to be here, and I'm stoked to be a part of that massive achievement.
Any more questions in the room?
Okay. Hi, Kathy Watt. Just a question for Logan. What are the main challenges you overcame coming into this race here?
I mean, there is always challenges. You know, niggling injuries. You're always dealing with it. The past year and a half with all this COVID stuff, with no travel, no events. I didn't face too much difficult times throughout that period because I have the skate park in my backyard. So, you know, if we were in a lockdown, I could still be on my bike. I could still work out. I have a gym set up at my house. You know, it was just a pure fact of not traveling and not doing what I'm used to doing, traveling and competing. So I was just hard at work at home, working in the comfort of my own home, which was perfect. And yeah, there's a long period for the qualifying. The start of 2018, the start of the qualifying period in 2018, I was actually injured for the first two events, which you know, it gave me a little setback. But throughout 2019, I was playing catch up, and I knew I could catch up and be one of the point scorers. So it's just trying to manage injuries. You know, this year worked out well for me at the World Championships. I ended up taking home that win and solidifying my selection onto the Olympic team. You know, after that event, which was only a month ago or 2 months ago, I had to go home and I had to do two weeks quarantine, get out of the quarantine, and I had 4 weeks to prepare for Tokyo. So, you know, that in itself is a difficult time. I'm literally stuck in a little shoebox of a room. And I'll do that again when I go home, obviously, two weeks quarantine. But it just makes it a little bit sweeter having a gold medal hanging up. So there's always challenges, always injuries you gotta face, but you just got to keep going.
Congratulations.
Hi, Matt Butler from the Eye in Britain. A question for Declan, sort of following up on a previous one. What does winning an Olympic medal mean for you in the sort of whole scheme of things?
Well, coming into this event, I was never a favourite to win the event. So for me, it was just to get a medal. So I'm super pumped to have delivered on that. But yeah, my family back at home, they're going to be so proud. My teammates, so proud. And yeah, and I just feel like it's a massive win for Great Britain. And especially as Charlotte won gold, the two BMX races as well. BMX definitely getting on the map in the UK, so pumped.
You going to wear the medal at Southsea Skate Park?
Sorry, can you say that again?
You're going to wear the medal at Southsea Skate Park?
Yeah, so I grew up riding Southsea Skate Park. We have a lot of legendary BMXs that have come through there, and I can probably say I'm one of those now, which is insane. Yeah, what a place. It's massive for BMX down there. It's an outdoor park, so it gets hit with the weather and stuff like that, but what a place to be in the summer. And I just hope for all the kids that are watching at home, they just can get into it and just love it as much as we all do up here.
Is there any further questions? If not, I'd like to conclude the press conference. Thanks everyone for taking part today, and congratulations to our medalists.